welcome y'all to another episode of the Wiley Show. We are back with another video, and let me tell you, I was super excited that she was going to interview Jaguar Wright, and that Tasha K was going to get this exclusive, and she got the exclusive. And at first, it was supposed to come on at one live, and then it came on. Then she said she was having technical issues, and then finally the live came out. And so you can clearly see in this interview that it was a very intensive 2-hour interview. And it was mainly focused on Jaguar Wright's life. It was mainly focused on her life. It was mainly focused on her before she got into the industry stuff. We learned that she was assaulted, that she was raped. I think she said at least multiple times. She said that her sister husband raped her. So she was really getting into some personal things in that interview, and it was very, very personable. It really made it seem like now we can understand why Jaguar Wright is the way that she is, and then she admitted that she do have that she been diagnosed with a disorder, and you just hearing this over and over. And so I was literally in this interview, she allowed Jaguar Wright to like dominate the interview. Like she was like on it, like dominating the entire conversation. And it really got heated when it got to the part about Alicia Keys. She was like, "How are you going to tell me about Alicia Keys? She's a liar. She's this." Because Tasha K explained to us that she's friends with Swiss Beast and that she's friends with Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys reached out to her saying that she don't know no Jaguar Wright. But Jaguar Wright definitely came out and said we was in the green room together. So it's like, regardless of what you want to say about this entire situation, Jaguar Wright have a very dominant personality. Like she dominates the interviews. And if you're not careful, and Tasha K was kind of soft spoken, but if you ever know anything about Tasha, she's always going to tell you, allow the guests to talk, allow the guests to say what they want to say. Don't put the guests like it's an interrogation. But when she was summing up the question, like, "Oh, you have this mental illness," she said, "Don't you say that I have a mental illness. Don't point it at I have a mental illness. If you're going to, this is how you're going to do it, then I'm going to hang up the phone. Do not set it up that I have this mental illness. No, I have experiences." I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, okay. But you just said you have disorders. But she says she don't have a mental illness. And she says she haven't had a mental breakdown in a long time. But it was really, really getting heated. And my point is this: I'm like, clearly you can see that she have, that whatever Jaguar Wright going through, she's obviously going through something. She's traveling around the country. She said that her life is in danger. She said she received multiple phone calls. She said that it might be a hit out for her, all of this, all that type of stuff. But let me tell you this: Tasha K definitely was trying to set this interview up as though Jaguar Wright have a mental illness. Like she had a motive, in my humble opinion, what she tried to do this interview, because she's cool with Alicia Keys and she's cool with Swiss Beats. So right when she said that, you could already see the bias of Tasha in this interview. That's just my personal opinion. Some people thought that she was doing this to discredit Storm. You really can't discredit Storm because Storm didn't say any of these things. Jaguar Wright said it. So you can't discredit Storm. Storm didn't say these things. Jaguar Wright said these things. So people were saying, "Oh, she's trying to discredit Storm." No, she really, what make this interview different than Storm Monroe interview is that she was literally talking about her personal life, her sister, her mother. She said her mother gets a schizophrenic, I think she said, and she was just really going. And I tried, don't get me wrong, y'all. I was on this futon laying down, just sleeping. Well, I wasn't sleeping. I was letting the interview play. Usually I take my notes. But since I've heard Jaguar Wright speak so many times, you really don't need to take notes, because you just know the lady just gonna go off. And you could just tell, like, that husband don't do too much talking, because she got a dominant personality. Now I want to see, because the husband was in the room with her, And it was like, is the husband gonna say something? And then she tried to ask the husband some questions, but what can the husband say? He did say that they was gonna talk. But if I was the husband, I'd be telling her, baby, let's stop spilling all this business, and we gotta go to a hotel and move in here. She said she never stay in one spot. Then it really got sad when she brought up her son, but then she tried to type into like mental illness, and Jaguar Wright wasn't feeling that. You know, she did lose her son. He was murdered. That was really sad. And then she talked about her other son that she have he's autistic, and as she felt as though that he held hostage, that he couldn't come see her, or the grandmother and the father just wanted for the check. Then she dragged, like, oh my gosh, she dragged her baby daddy, talking about that he was getting screwed by transgender women. So she was spreading a lot of stuff in that entire interview. It was a lot of stuff that she was spreading and just shaking. So what I'm going to do is, if anybody want to call in and give their opinion, yeah, I'm gonna hold on 1 second. I'm gonna call, if anybody want to call in and give their opinion about the situation. You know, we can do that. You can call in and give your opinion about it, because I think people want to speak on this. I just think that that Jaguar just needs to really stop talking. She needs to heal, because she's fighting so many battles. She's fighting a battle within herself. She's fighting a battle within Alicia Keys. She's fighting a battle with Mary J. Blige. She's fighting a battle with herself, and she's fighting a battle with her family. So she has multiple battles that she's yet going through, and you're seeing this over and over again. And she really needs to, in my humble opinion, get some help. And these are like multiple battles that she's fighting. So give me a second. I'm going to open up the phone line. So if anybody want to call in and give their opinion about Jaguar Wright, or what they thought about the interview, I think that'll be beautiful if anybody can call in. Let me see. That's what I would do. I will open up the phone lines. Give me a second. Okay. We see. And she find her healing through her speaking. Yes. But I really believe that she do need to, well, some people said this is her way to heal. But she really going through a lot because she's moving. It was a lot of questions that she not willing to answer, but she did say that she received multiple phone calls from people up there calling her and threatening. So what we'll do is we will open up the phone lines and we will allow you.
Your show now, press 1 to hear important
instructions.
Your
show is scheduled to start in 22 seconds.
Okay. So we have that. So once it goes through, we'll bring the callers on the air. And so I was really just emotional.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Her stop talking now. It was a lot that she was saying in the interview. It was a whole lot she was saying, and she was going off on Tasha K. I think she's stressed too, because she's spreading all this stuff with these celebrities. So what I would do, I'm open up the phone lines. Let's see right here, 5840, calling on air.
Hey, Wiley, I was praying that you come on right after. I didn't want to go to bed yet.
Yes.
But I do want to say, overall, the interview was good. In the beginning, I was like, oh, please, Tasha K, please don't let me side-eye you now. Like, you know, because it was coming off like, is Tasha K trying to be a doctor now? Like, I wasn't trying, you know, in the beginning, I was just waiting for her to say she's not a therapist and she's not a doctor. But I felt like Tasha K could have stated that more than once, because in the beginning, it seemed like that's what she was trying to come off as, in my humble opinion, you know. But also, she said that she's going through a lot. Like, she had death threats. Is a $500,000 bounty for her. It's just a lot. Like, it's a lot. And she sounds definite with the Alicia Keys situation. She knows Alicia Keys. And like Jaguar said, if if you don't know her and she's lying on Alicia Keys, sue her. There's ways that Jaguar could be found to get served.
And my thing is this, even with all that stuff that she was saying, a lot of that she put upon herself because she's going against the entire industry and she's talking about some very powerful people like Clive Davis.
Yeah, but when enough is enough.
Right.
Like, if this is all happening in the industry, I believe that someone has to stand up for the future to come.
I feel you on that.
But I did hear Jaguar state that stuff is happening behind the scenes in the court of law. So there's not much that she can say.
She did say that. She said there was some litigation, some things going on. And yeah, so she did say that. I just hope that nothing happens to her, right? That's what I hope. Or to her husband.
Likewise. And then Tasha hit this note. If something happens to you, who do you think did it? And I'm good that I like how Tasha K put that out there. God forbid something do happen to her, is well documented. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I didn't like how Tasha K tried to make it seem like she's crazy. Don't do that, because people do that. Like they say, oh, she was suicidal, so she killed herself. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
That part I didn't like, but I still like Tasha K. And I really do hope that you take that offer that she offered to mentor you next. And I can't wait for you to hit thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers and more.
Thank you so much, Icon, for calling in.
I love you, Wiley.
Love
Bye-bye.
you too. Bye-bye. We got a next caller, 6788, caller, you on the air. 6788.
Hey, Wiley, how are you?
Hey.
Hi, this is Candy. I love your show.
Yeah, love you.
Yes, I was calling because I didn't like how Tasha K tried to discredit Jaguar. Like, she was trying to paint the picture that she's crazy, and I did not like that. And then she was bringing up her past, and I just didn't like how Tasha K tried to do that.
Well, my thing is this: why can't she? The lady said she had multiple disorders, and the lady brought it up. So I think Tasha have a right to ask her that question. She brought it up. She was saying not only did she got gang raped, but multiple times she was raped. So she was saying a lot. It was a heavy. I would have loved for a therapist to even be on the line, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she definitely, I hope that she's in therapy or, that she's getting the help that she needs, because clearly you can see that she's still hurting. I can still sense that from her, from Jaguar.
Yes, I could too. I think Tasha was trying to play therapist.
Right. And she was trying to get another side from Jaguar, but Jaguar, she started snapping. And then she said, what if I would have listened to people about you and saying that you're crazy and that you shouldn't be interviewing people said about them, but I didn't believe what they said about you. It was like Jaguar was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, but I'm here for it.
Exactly. Right. I am. I wish you would have interviewed Jag. It would have been much better.
Yes.
You're a great interview, Wiley.
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Bye.
All right. Well, because Jaguar Wright definitely could go off for you, but I would have bet up like, listen, ma'am, Anonymous, you live on the air.
Oh yes, hi Wiley. Shout out to the chat.
Hi.
I'm about to go in.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Go
With
ahead.
all due respect to your platform, Tasha K is 110% trash for everything in regards to this interview. From the moment that the disturbing question she was asking a victim of sexual abuse, and then how she took that and flipped it on her, Jaguar. What else? The whole setup, in my personal opinion, and which is blatantly obvious, was to discredit Jaguar's character and everything in regards to her. So because of she had the agenda to discredit Jaguar as an attack upon Storm, in my personal opinion. Okay.
But my thing is,
there's something going on. There's something going on with her and Storm. I'm sorry, Tasha K has a poor character. There's not anything she's willing to do. She's not above anything petty. She has no morals, and this interview proved it. Okay, her attacking Jaguar was just a way of discrediting Jaguar.
When you say attacking, what was the attack?
What?
I'm confused. What was the attack?
The whole thing was an attack. She was phony from the beginning, okay? And then you can talk about sexual abuse or any sort of abuse. She was deliberately trying to trigger Jaguar. And the questions, why does she need to get into vivid detail in regards to being raped or molested? Why ask those type of questions to it? Why be so insensitive? And then turn around and use what she said to try to turn around and use it against her in regards to what she has already said in Storm Monroe's interviews. It's all about discredit. The point was to discredit Jaguar to make Storm look bad, and because he was the one that basically put her on the map, type of thing. In terms of the interview, we all appreciate what Storm did. Tasha K is trash. Go ahead. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, this is the thing. I don't think that Tasha K is trash at all, because Jaguar Wright is a very complex person. So she's not
complex at all. She just has a very high IQ and she's misunderstood.
Right, but you could say that. But if you're having allegations, even with the Rihanna and Chris Brown, she had a whole take on Chris Brown, and Tasha K said, "Listen, Chris Brown beat Rihanna." So, but how would you know how him getting locked up?
I sat there and I watched how Tasha K played that, because we're not Jaguar Wright, presented something different in regards to that situation, okay? And now all of a sudden, Tasha K, the same one that brought forth a girl to present false information on Cardi B and secretly recorded Wendy Williams' husband and then played that for the world to hear. Now all of a sudden she has some sort of morals in regards to what Jaguar is saying. At least we can say that Jaguar Wright is definitely in the industry, and of course the industry within itself talks. It doesn't matter whether or not she has a hit album. All of those people know each other and they know each other's business. Jaguar Wright presented something different. She's not saying, she wasn't speaking on a domestic violence aspect of it. She's giving you a different aspect. Do you understand that, Wiley? Tasha K is trash.
Okay. Well, okay. I hear you. You have this how you feel about Tasha K. Well, thank you. I'm going to go to the next caller. Thank you, caller.
But Tasha K, excuse me, can I say something else, Wiley?
Hold on 1 second. Let me get these other callers on, because you have said your point. Okay. All right. Next caller. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
I just want to second what that last caller just stated. I agree with her 100%. Tasha K is trash. This interview was trash. That is an interview that Storm Monroe should have done. First and foremost, Tasha K did not ask tough questions. She asked intrusive questions. She never asked her about her music. She challenged everything she said. She kept interrupting her and cutting her off, trying to speak to her husband, being very condescending. She missed the whole Clive Davis, Rihanna, Chris Brown points that Jaguar was trying to make. Instead of allowing her to speak so that she can paint the picture of the industry that she has been in, that she has been a part of, because we don't know. We only hear stories about the industry. But she was speaking to someone that has actually been a part of the industry, that has actually seen things in the industry. And instead of allowing her to speak, she kept speaking over her and kept challenging everything that she was saying.
But that's the job of the interviewer.
Points about, okay, that is, but here's the thing, right? When you're interviewing somebody, you ask them a question and you give them an opportunity to speak. Tasha K kept interrupting her and was not allowing her to fully get her point across. If you hear what the person is saying, then now you can pivot back on what they were saying and give a response. Like when she was trying to give you a whole analogy saying, okay, well, look, all of these hours went by. Rihanna never reported it. Her publicist reported it. Why did they wait for Chris Brown to walk down the red carpet to have the police arrest him? all of that stuff, when you listen to certain things that she was saying, it kind of makes sense. And it goes into play with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the industry, because Rihanna's career skyrocketed after that. Then we get into this whole Tory and Meg. It's just a lot of similarities of some of the
but
things
Chris
that
Brown beat her
like
though.
me,
But Chris Brown did beat
okay.
Rihanna.
Okay, but here's the thing. We're not going to act like women do not hit men, okay? So what she was saying is that, yes, we know we saw bruises on Rihanna. However, we do not know what happened prior to that, or what led up to that, or what Rihanna did, because Chris Brown never said anything about Rihanna. He took it for whatever it was, and that's what it was. But she asked you what happened at Clive Davis' party. She was trying to, give a whole bunch of different things for us to kind of like think a little bit more, and we can see different things that kind of play out in the industry. And she gave some examples of people that have either died from overdose, that have been killed, that have been accused of rape, that has been accused of physically abusing. She gave different scenarios. She said, why don't you think this happened to these people? Anytime a Black person is trying to take over, anything, or trying to own something, why don't you think something happened to them, or something happens with their career, some type of scandal that happens? Those are things that we're listening for. We're trying to figure out, okay, well, she kind of making a little sense. Let's hear her out. But Tasha K was not allowing her to say anything. And then when Jag said she's on the move because of threats, Tasha K kept asking her where she's at, even though she already knew she was in Texas. Why do you keep asking her where she at, like you want to know her exact location? And it's kind of odd, because she just dealt with this whole Brandy situation from Bad Girls Club, where this woman attempted suicide. So if you have a woman that you're interviewing that already said that she's dealt with mental trauma, she's dealt with sexual trauma, she's dealt with all these different types of things, and she's telling you that there's people that's trying to come after her, why are you antagonizing her? And why are you trying to figure out her exact location? A lot of stuff about this interview was so odd. And it seemed like Tasha already had an agenda when she was interviewing Jag. So a lot of the stuff didn't even make sense. So I don't agree with it. The interview was trash. I was looking in the comments. A lot of people said that they was going to unsubscribe from her. It was just trash. Right. And you don't play on somebody's sexual trauma. If she keeps doubling
Let's
back.
be clear. She shared. I want to be clear. Jaguar Wright shared these things and stayed on that interview for 2 hours. She could have left multiple times, but she stayed on there for 2 hours.
She could have, but but here's the thing, right? Jaguar Wright was trying to get out her story. She was kind enough to give her that interview. She did not have to. She was trying to be patient. She handled herself very well with someone that was being condescending and being intrusive. And if you look at Tasha's demeanor, it seems like Tasha was making fun of a lot of the stuff that Jaguar was saying, because she was just so calm, like she didn't believe none of the stuff she was saying. For real? But what about this? And what about that? She did not seem like she cared. She did not seem like she understood, or she was taking anything that she was saying serious. It just seems like she was trying to make her look crazy, and she was trying to make her look stupid in front of the public, which is why she kept asking redundant questions over and over again about her sexual trauma, about her mental abuse, about her mental health, she kept asking the same questions. She'll say one thing, and then she'll pivot back to something else, and then go back to the sexual trauma.
All right, thank you.
It didn't make any sense, so it was trash.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next caller. All right. Well, the callers are calling in and expresses how they feel. I personally don't believe Tasha K is trash. Tasha K is an interviewer, no different than Barbara Walters, no different than Oprah Winfrey, no different than Tamron Hall, no different than Anderson Cooper, no different than Don Lemon. She just is the interviewer. And that's what I feel about this entire situation. 7714 caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hi. Can you speak up in the phone so we can hear you?
Oh, okay. Hi. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I've been a Tasha K fan since day one. I don't care what she has done. Any talked about Carly B, Lovely T. I cusses people out in the chat when anybody have anything to say about Tasha K. But I must say, along with everybody else. I didn't like the way she conducted herself during the interview. I have always thought Tasha K was really big real. She did seem fake. She seemed insensitive to what was going on. She did seem like she had a preconceived idea about Jaguar ahead of time. She did not play, both ends like she usually do, the good and the bad and in the middle. She seemed like she had only one agenda, and that was to discredit her, to make it seem like she was crazy. And what hurted me, Tasha didn't talk about her being molested when she was a child. And why did she just seem her whole, it was a body language, her interview questions were thrown off. I did not like it. I ended up just leaving the live because it was not right. Tasha, and I'm gonna say something else too. Her last 3 interviews, I haven't been seeing a Tasha that I've been looking at for years. Them last 3 interviews, she seemed to be out balanced, out focused. But Jaguar, it was terrible. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna unsubscribe to her, but it's got me looking at her with a side eye because she seemed fake the whole interview, and that's what hurt me. Whether she's right or wrong or what have you, she seemed to be fake, and I like dealing with real people. I came to your channel because Tasha K told me about you. She told me about Storm, and y'all the only 3 that I watch. I don't watch nobody else. Mm-hmm. And so I like you, but when Tasha K brought me to you, I looked at you for myself. I thought, oh yeah, I like Wiley. I like the Storm. Yes. But I'm with the people. I wouldn't call Tasha trash because you don't call people trash. But the interview, the way she went by it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, ma'am. Okay. We're allowing the caller to speak. But I want to respond to that. Tasha K is an interviewer, and then she did go out for a run for 2 miles. Okay. She before the interview, she did run. So she's okay. 8776 caller, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you today, Wiley?
Doing all right. Go ahead.
All right. So my opinion. Have you ever heard of the comedian, what's his name? Paul Mooney?
Yes, Paul Mooney, yes.
All right. Well, in some of his things, he discussed Chris Brown and things as such. And what he said in those specials is almost mirrored to what Jaguar was saying. So it gives her some credibility. The second thing I want to say is that Tasha was kind of passive aggressive, and it seems like she was trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. One, I think she was trying to take some of the shine off of Jaguar, so we could say that it was just a flash in the pans or lightning strike that Storm got all those views. And second, I think she's seen herself in Jaguar, and she didn't like what she's seeing, because once upon a time, Tasha used to be that truthful person, and now she's not, because now she's buying into the whole YouTube, Hollywood, crossover, whatever there is mentality. And I think she sees it, and I don't think she knows how to bring it back just a little bit to find the core that made her Tasha K in the first place.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. All right. The callers are calling in from across the country. Right. Okay. 6151 caller, you on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Rowdy? It's Kareem from Real Entertainment News, man.
Go ahead, brother.
So I want to be real here. Do I think that was one of Tasha K's best interviews? Probably not, right? But what I think people don't really understand is, number one, Tasha K, she's moving. She's moved. You know, she's doing a lot of stuff. So, you know, she can be fatigued. You know, I'm not, and I don't want to sit here and make up any excuses for how she conducts interviews, you know what I mean, or anything like that. But I don't feel that she's a trash interviewer. I don't feel that she is trying to go behind Storm's back or anything like that. I talked to Tasha K yesterday in the DMs, and she said she has no problems with Storm. She's not beefing with Storm. You know, there's no issue there, so people can stop that rumor. That rumor should be dead. You understand what I'm saying? I talked to that lady personally myself last night. Tasha K. You can verify this with Tasha K if you want, Wiley. But you know what I mean? I think it's a matter of, you know, she was tired. The interview was done late. So the way what you're seeing is you're seeing fatigue. You're not seeing an enthused person interviewing somebody. You understand what I'm saying, Wiley?
I hear
you. Am
I
making sense?
I hear you.
You know, and then as far as Jaguar, people don't understand. Jaguar is from North Philadelphia, Richard Allen. You know what I mean? The home of Ram Squad, the home of Tommy Butter. It's rough out there, man. People don't make it past 25 out there, bro. I'm from South Philadelphia. I know firsthand Richard Allen projects. I know. She's a real chick. You know what I mean? You know, and certain things hit certain people different ways, man. You know, so they gonna react. They gonna react. How they react? Now let me ask you, Wally. Did you think it was a trash interview? Did you think she was asking trash questions? Do you think that she was asking questions that was trying to, what people were saying, disrespect a survivor of abuse? Do you think that, Wiley?
What I think that interview should have been with a therapist. I personally did not want to hear all of that from Jaguar Wright. It was a lot of heavy stuff that she was displaying, and for that I would have, would love to hear that on the Yana Van Zant, fix my life type of a deal. But I think Tasha, for what she was dealt with the cards that she was dealt with, wasn't one of the most entertaining because it was a heavy subject matter, in my humble opinion.
And let me ask you this, Wally. If Tasha K went that route to try that interview style, why do we get to the point where we won't allow our favorite people that we watch, listen to, or admire grow?
Because we get so used to putting them in a box that they so used to the lively Tasha. But this was like a calm Oprah style type of interview where she was asking her questions very calm. She couldn't be confrontational or aggressive because Jaguar Wright would have cussed her out, and Jaguar Wright kind of cussed her out in the interview. You know what I'm saying? Because Jaguar Wright is a firecracker. Sure. That woman is a firecracker when it comes to her style. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to the next. Go ahead. You was on the finish your point.
No, I was going to ask you. Did you feel that the questions that Tasha K was asking were confrontational questions? Do you think this was an interview that would be a confrontational interview?
This was a heavy interview. This was a very heavy interview. So she had to, whatever she was at, this was a heavy interview. The lady went back to when she was 10 years old abused, when she was 12 abused. Then she went when she's 8. So she was talking about a lot of abuse in the interview.
Yeah, you're right.
Even the husband, thank you for calling in. Even the husband was kind of he was kind of uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable, I was, because it was very, very heavy. So let's go to the phone lines. 1477, Carly on the air. 1477. Hey.
Hey.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wally?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, ma'am. I can hear you. 1477. Okay, she hung up. Okay. Let's go to the next one. 1386, Carly on air. 1386. Hello. Last 4, 1386. Okay. Okay. 1386. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one.
Hello.
Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Is it me?
Yes.
Cosmic Calvi? Okay, cool.
Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yeah, since your moderators wanted to put me in timeout inside of the little chat, I just decided to call in because I wasn't gonna call in because their little trash bucket predator is in the comments. You don't need to.
Okay, we talk about the subject. We talk about Tasha K. We talk about Tasha
You don't
K.
need to change because you want money.
You talk about we talk about Tasha K. No, nobody's trying to change. Hold on 1 second. No one's trying to change for somebody. Because again, Tasha K is the hot story. Again, I'm not riding nobody, nothing. But what was your point that you was calling in for?
Definitely dick riding.
Okay, that's not it. She have a yoni. I would be yoni riding. Not I'd be yoni riding. I'm not riding nothing. Okay. Well,
I hope that dumb bald-headed bitch.
Okay, no. You don't do all that. We'll wait till you calm down. You want to cuss and do everything. 2448, Carly on there.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
My goodness. Oh, wow. I don't even know. I forgot what I was going to say after all of that. Oh, my gosh. But seriously, though, I was just going to say, I didn't like the interview either, and I normally like Tasha K. I thought she was just being a little too condescending and not asking her direct questions.
Okay.
And then I think she kept trying to make summations, saying, well, because you this and because that happened, don't you think? And it's like, those are more of a therapist type of thing. So I didn't really care for all the condescension and just, I prefer her being direct, not aggressive, but just a little bit more direct. That's really all. I think one of her best interviews was the one with Star Marie. And ever since then, she hasn't been as direct. She's been aggressive and confrontational, but just not direct, just getting to the point, just getting to the story. And that's the part I missed about this interview, because I thought it was just kind of all over the place.
And it's kind of hard guiding an interview with Jaguar because she's very dominant when it comes to her interviews, though.
Right. But I think she would have responded pretty well to like a direct question as opposed to her trying to say, well, because of this, because of that, because that's when she kind of flipped because she felt like she was calling her crazy. So I think she would have responded well if she would have just said, well, what do you think? Or what are you going to do? If people are following you and you're fearing for your life, what are you going to do next? Just straight questions. And
all right.
But that's the problem I saw. But thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you. Okay. We getting down to the bottom. 0317, Carly on there.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
How you doing tonight, first of all?
Bless.
Well, I appreciate you. I see them likes. I made sure I put a like in here too, just to support your channel. Before I say anything else, I just want to support you first.
Well, thank you.
So, the one thing I'm gonna say about Jaguar, she does have an issue with telling everybody tease, but it does seem like she was uncomfortable with Tasha asking her certain questions. Now, is Tasha the best interviewer to me? No. But however, in Jaguar's situation, I feel like it's like, girl, you have been out here dragging every celebrity. You're getting like ruffled by Tasha's questions. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And she's deserving to be questioned when you bringing allegations up. If you do an interview, you're going to get questioned.
Yeah, and see, the thing is with Jaguar, to me, I know it comes from a hurt place. Hurt people hurt people. I also know that it comes from a place of jealousy and a place of envy, the way that she talks about others. But my thing is, if you cannot stand in your own stuff, matter of fact, I ain't gonna swear. The minute that I found out that she couldn't even buy herself a breakfast sandwich after 3 credit cards, I knew not to believe anything she said.
And when she asked the question, and she brought it up, and she really didn't even answer why, because she said she don't know how much money she got. And then she said she do, and she travels, and I'm like, oh Lord.
It sounds a lot of like crazy. You're almost at retirement age and don't know how much money you have. Are you serious? No, real people. Look, I live a regular life with a regular job, and I know when I only got $2 in my bank account. I know that. So she can miss me with all the other stuff. But the real problem is people are making excuses for Jaguar. Could it be that Jaguar recycles stories from time to time and tell her truth from time to time? Yes. But the excuse that people are making for Jaguar is that they want her to be the new Messiah. They want her to be the whistleblower. They want her to be always accurate about everything. And the issue with that is that when you have a person like that, they're going to keep telling stories, even if they know it's not all the way true, for one. But for two, the one thing I don't like about Jaguar is that for real, the way she said in her when she talked about Mary J. Blige and stuff, she should have gave all that smoke to Tasha. She should have gave it all. And the fact that it's like all of a sudden we got to protect Jaguar because, and here's the sad thing, I'm not even a Tasha K fan. But the problem is, it's like, look, I should not have to protect you from questions that you want us to ask to other celebrities.
I feel you on that. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
What's up, YouTube? On election night, we're going to cover the election. Whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, this is a history-making night. Somebody, whether you're Donald Trump or Joe Biden, will be the next president. But I'm going to give my perspective on the election. So join me and Blue Skies as we talk about the election. Go out and vote, because on November 3rd, it will be history that's going to be made. All right, so let's go to the phone lines. Okay. All right, let's go 1386. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Cosmic Calvi, right?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds great. All right, this is what I gotta say. I came in at the end of the interview, but I wanted to catch the live footage, so I have to go back and catch some stuff. And can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So I have to go back and catch some stuff, but what I did see at the end there, that Jaguar was like really speaking some truth about what the fame industry really is. And I did notice the condensation that people are talking about Tasha K doing. People are reading her face, but at the same time, people need to respect her profession. She is a professional, and just like any good alchemist, and that means believing in yourself, think of this. If you believe in yourself, you can create anything, right? Tasha K believed in herself, created her platform. this guy, that Clive Davis dude, he believes in himself created Sony, right? And this lady too, Jaguar, believes in herself and created Jaguar. We all need to learn how to coexist, and we all have shadow work and pieces of us that we don't like to acknowledge. Jaguar, the fans in the comments with the laughing and the faces and stuff like that, even how all of us are responding to each other. Like, instead of trying to tear each other apart, we really need to like try to communicate it to each other and hear each other, because a lot of shit is going on, and it's like chess out there. Like, I'm kind of a conspiracist. I'm not trying to get off topic, but it's like chess out there. And with the election and all that stuff, they choose to do it at this time for a reason. The moon alignments and everything is for a reason.
All right,
on the
thank
day,
you.
it's for a reason.
Thank you so
And
much
I
for calling
just want
in.
to say that, Tasha K, I hear her, and she's a Pisces, and Pisces come from love, and they're wise. And I think that Tasha K is a person that fuels from the inside of the machine and try to help the people, but she still is trying to maintain face because that is her platform.
All right, thank you so
Whereas
much.
the other lady, can I just say this last
Okay.
part? The other lady, she does need to do some shadow work on like reflecting on how she's just throwing everybody's dirty laundry out there, Alicia Keys and everybody, and not being willing to open up about her. Because Tasha K did say, hey, I'm trying to hear about you, you know, and get to the point. She wants to understand you. She wants to understand what they did to you, because that's how we can point fingers at them the most accurately. And Tasha K's like, tell us your location. I think that was love. I don't think that was shade, to be honest with you. I think Tasha K was thinking smartly about the situation. And that's just my honest opinion. But that's all I got to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling in. All right, we got a lot of callers in queue. We're going to try to get to everybody. Anonymous, you're live on the air.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Wright. All right. Go ahead, sister.
Well, my brother, I'm going to tell you this. As a woman who grew up in Philadelphia, I saw the progress that Jaguar was making back in the, I would say, 80s, mid-80s to the 90s when the Roots was, the early 90s when Roots was coming out. And I saw a lot of the free things he did in Philadelphia. And having a family member in the music business and being exposed to being able to see a lot of things that she mentioned going on with the studios and the different things they do. So a lot of what she's saying is truthful. Also, the area where she grew up, a lot of what she meant was, what she had to say was truthful. So for people to try and make light of a person's story because it sounds so unbelievable for them, it was something that she experienced. It was something that I did not experience myself personally, but I saw a lot of what she mentioned exactly with Phyllis Hyman and the type of things they do within the studio system and what she mentioned about Clive. But you know, what's really curious to me is how everybody wants to look at how she's talking about the individuals and what she witnessed and what people did during that time. But they're not listening to how these things progress and how the music industry and how society will protect what they believe to be the people who they want to worship. For instance, with Tasha K. Now, yes, she has grown in her platform, but even she is changing. So why is it so difficult for a person to understand how when life changes for another and it affects them, regardless of who they may be, why is it so impossible? You yourself has experienced different difficulties with quote unquote mental health. But does it make you a liar when you speak now? No. So when people want to disparage someone because of how they speak and not actually listen to what they're saying, what does that say about us? So you be careful also, Wiley, because all money is not good money. You understand?
I hear you.
Peace, my brother.
Peace out to you, sister. Peace. What money? What money? Somebody said Wiley is on Tasha K payroll. What? If I was on her payroll, oh, come on, stop it, people. Stop it, people. I'm being a little biased, probably because I've been sleeping off. Get into that later. Let's go to the phone lines. 8047 calling on air. 8047.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, it's me. I'm like, let me hold some money, Wiley. What you got?
Right, they have some money.
Whose payroll you on?
I ain't on nobody.
Lord, boy. But no, I wanted to, it's so much. I watched the whole thing from the beginning to the end. First thing, the caller about 2 callers ago said that the young lady was saying that, this was Tasha's profession. She's professional. No, she's not. She's not a professional. I do listen to her. I subscribe to her. I like Tasha. I felt as though once Storm Monroe got that interview, right, and it made the numbers, and we all saw that. He was talked about everywhere. Before that, Tasha was, she wasn't going to interview her, and, kind of was throwing a little shade about, different things that she was saying, referencing, I guess, how Jaguar was saying that, a friend of a friend told me this, or secondhand knowledge or whatever. So she had a bunch to say. But like I said, once she's seen those numbers, then I felt, she was going to come, and she did just that to get an interview. From the beginning, you can tell that she was almost wanting to discredit her and waiting for different opportunities. Like when Jaguar was speaking, it was like she was very dismissive. It was she was waiting for the time to insert and ask a question to debunk something that she had said before. And everyone has to understand that this is Jaguar's truth, and unfortunately, it involves those people that we all grew up listening to. We all like Mary J. We all like Alicia Keys and things like that. And so it makes us feel some type of way when you talk about those people that we all have grown to love. But now we're learning, especially in 2020, we're finding a lot of things out about people that, especially when it was, the corona and people were at home, and now we're actually seeing people live, and these celebrities and how they live and how they go day to day. We're like, wow, they're not who we thought. It was an image, And like I said, this was Jaguar's truth. This is what it is. This is what she's saying. And unfortunately, it involves other people. Clive Davis, we've been hearing about this for the beginning of time. And there has been a lot of people that have died on his watch, unfortunately, or in his circle. Michael Jackson, the list goes on. And it's been suspicious of those deaths. I hope that, she stays prayed up. I hope that nothing harm comes her way. And like I said, Tasha, I like her, but I think she was being very shady. I think she lost a lot of subscribers to this because she was being very insensitive on some of the questions that she asked her when it came to, her being sexually abused and things like that. So that's just my opinion.
Well, thank you so very much for calling in. All right. And regardless, we want people to be, thank you, sister. I want to make an announcement that regardless of how you feel about Tasha K, let's be respectful of her. That's our sister. We love her. And many people in the chat, y'all letting me have it in the chat. Y'all letting me have it in the DMs as well. But yeah. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. 3286, calling you on the air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
Right.
I listened to the interview, and I didn't really have an issue with the interview. It's, typical of her. It wasn't anything different than what she's done before, for the other interviews that I've actually heard her do with that. So
I didn't have an issue with that. But one thing I did want to ask you, I listened to her earlier when she was talking about the interview and that she was going to drop it, and she said that she was going to take you and as a mentee if you would have her. So I don't know if y'all talked about it before, because I haven't too long jumped on your live because I was listening to hers. Do you have an answer for that, or did you already?
Well, my answer is this: if it's, we can have that a conversation. A lot of people thought that she's mentoring me now, but again, I'm a student of the game. I'm willing to take help for wherever it comes from. So if it sounds good, if the paperwork is good, that's something I'll be quite interested in looking into. Look at her great success record that she has, Storm Monroe. Getting millions of views right now, so she have helped him. You just show him the ropes, So I'll be down with that.
I smiled a big smile when I heard her say that, and I kept checking to see if you was going live. I was like, when is he going live? When is he going live? I want to know what he's gonna say. So,
right.
I mean, I was excited that she said she gave you your props. She said, he dragged me, but I like him. She's like,
and we are right. I'm glad you said that. Right.
She said she listened to your show from beginning to end, and there's not very many people that she listened to their entire show. So I said, well, that's good. I know Wiley been saying, he has dreams and aspirations and there's things that he want to do. It may come this way. So
yes.
I was just curious to know if you spoke on it, or if you said whether or not you was gonna accept help from her or whatever. So.
Yes. Okay.
I'll be looking forward to it. Yes. Okay. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you. And she's still watching now. We love Tasha K. Yo, it's dragging me in these comments. Oh Lord. 8254, Carly, you're there.
Hey Wiley, how you doing tonight?
All right, doing all right. Go ahead. What's on your mind now?
This is Shar. I wanted to say that I really enjoy your show. I love your energy, and I liked when you took your glasses off last week. You looked so handsome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. About Tasha K and Jag, I like both of them a lot, so I have an unbiased opinion. I feel like now Jag just says she always mentions when her with her credit card declining, she always mentions how she just got out of jail. Literally 2 years ago. She was doing time. Okay. So this means that that was 2 years ago in 2018. That would be 2019. It's 2020. That was recent. And usually when people get out of jail, they have to transition into regular civilian lifestyle. And she is probably broke from trying to, bounce back into her regular lifestyle.
All right.
I just want to say that when she was sitting in jail, she probably had a lot of time to think about everything she saw when she was in the industry. And I remember when Tupac gave that speech talking about how we're going to see later on in life that a lot of these industry people and their message isn't for us, and it's not going to benefit us, and we're going to be able to look at them and tell. And I feel like with her being around and seeing the direction that the music industry and the media is taking society, she probably did want to say her little piece before she passed away. And especially after losing her son, she's not doing that bad. If I lost my child, I would be doing way worse than trying to be in the drive-thru with my credit card decline.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, caller.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for calling in. All right. 0543, calling you on the air.
Hey, Wiley, that was quick. Hey, I just wanted to say I really appreciate your show. But let's move on to the interview at hand. I think Tasha was really rude. I mean, like, she asked the woman at least 5 to 10 times about her finances. And I was like, well, damn, is she sorry for cursing. Well, is she the IRS? Like, why do you need to know,
It was because that video. It was because, that video that her car was declined.
Yeah, but so what? Everybody's card has declined once or twice, unless you're
you know, who's Amazon's owner? You know what I'm saying? Whatchamacallit, they never said that she's a billionaire. I mean, everybody, P. Diddy, everybody probably it's hard to find. Like, if someone asked you 10 times, well, what about your finances? What does your husband do? Well, what do you do? Well, how do you get this? I'm surprised Jaguar didn't curse her out, because I'd have been like, listen, B, listen, you know, are you paying for it? You know, why? Do you need me to pay some of your bills? Or, you know, like, I was really frustrated. And I really love Tasha. But boy, that Jaguar, she served Tasha. Like, you know, I thought they was about to go to blows verbally or whatever. But I just thought that, I don't know, I was really frustrated with Tasha. And I have never, you know, Tasha can get real raunchy and, you know, with all her interviews. But I was just like, ooh, she was just, but, you know, Jaguar held her own. And and it's sad that some of the stuff that she was saying, but it seemed like Tasha didn't have any empathy or sympathy, especially when she was saying that she has been through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I asked you over and over again, Wiley? What if I asked you, you know, something about your, you know, your issues? You know what I'm saying? Over and over and over again. It was almost like abuse, like verbal, like betting or something. And I was just like, girl, calm down. Like, she really wanted the exclusive, but it was like she was too thirsty. It was like Storm has already gotten reviews, but it seemed as if Tasha was trying to top Storm, and it was like, no. But whatchamacallit, Jaguar was graceful at the end, and she was like, you know what, sis, I appreciate your questions and blah this and blah this, but it was like, Tasha, you didn't have to go there. You didn't have to, you already have 826,000 people. You didn't have to go there. Hello?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening.
Like, she's so quiet. I'm like, come on. I was like, I know you didn't hang up on me.
No, I didn't hang up on you.
Pull up in Texas or whatever, but I'm just like, it was a good interview, but Tasha could have did better. Mm-hmm. She could have did better.
Well, in Tasha K defense, she did say she had to go on a 2-mile run, and she was running. And so I think when she did the interview, she was kind of tired. That's when she took the wine towards the end, because she had to go on a run, and she was running. So I think she's back doing her exercise.
She was running the numbers. That's what she was running. She was running her numbers from her listeners, and she was running the numbers from the IRS. Because everybody was like, Tasha, who are you working for? You like, it's Tasha. No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there, because he ain't gonna come after me. But I was like, you know, people are like, who is Tasha? What is this for? Like, why do you need to know where this woman at? If somebody, okay, so Wiley, if you tell me, oh, you know, some people are out to get me, and then I'm like, well, Wiley, where are you? Well, you know, you're home, so where are you? You'd be like, oh, you're out. Like, you would hang up the phone like you up. You see what I'm saying? Like who was Tasha working for? Who sponsored that video?
I hear you on that.
It definitely wasn't Pandora who wanted, or whoever whatever lackluster commercials that she be having. No. She was on somebody's payroll, and I'm not going to, well, you know, it may not be Mr. C, but it was somebody. But let me go before they trace my phone call. Don't listen. Don't give nobody my phone number.
Okay.
Don't give nobody my phone number.
No,
okay.
Ma'am. Thank you,
okay,
ma'am.
bye.
Thank you.
Love
bye.
you.
Love you. Okay.
Bye.
0622 caller, you on air.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
All right.
Hey, I just wanted to briefly touch on how disturbing that whole show was. I think it got really disturbing for me towards the end, especially when she asked her husband, Gerald, was that a gun? Do you recall that part?
I did recall that part. She said, was that a gun? Yeah.
Yeah. And I know she was joking, but even Jaguar had to kind of show the phone. First she was like, no, it wasn't. Then she had to show the phone. But in the beginning, she had already said that was her bodyguard. You know, well, it's her husband, but also when she said, what job do you have? He was like, that's my bodyguard as well. So if he did have a gun, that would kind of put him in an awkward position. You know what I mean? So I think that's why she kind of had to show her phone. But here's the other part. If that was really, if this was really a lie for her to kind of promote herself, when she had that $60, $80 shea butter, she could have plugged her, you know, her, wherever you can find it, made sure they dropped it in the chat, made sure all the moderators put it down there, you know what I mean? And really made sure she plugged it. She had 23,000 people in the chat. So if it was really about that, she could have made sure that people were aware of where they could get that $60 shea butter. And she said it was healing people from corona. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but she kind of hinted to it, you know? And so it was just really awkward. But the truth is that it was really uncomfortable. But I stand with you when you said that conversation should have been with the licensed therapist, because it was just, it wasn't for her. Because see, Tasha K is more for comedian, it's more to add a funny aspect to it. And that wasn't the type of conversation that she's used to. But these last couple of lives have just been really off.
I feel you on that. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Okay, now. All right. Okay, let's get Anonymous. You live on the air.
Hey, Wiley. How are you?
All right.
I just want to say, with all due respect, I think you're being extremely messy trying to protect and defend that on the down low, disgusting ass, motherfucking bald-headed bitch. Do you understand me, Wiley?
No. You got to be respectful. We'll let you come on and talk, but you got to just be respectful. That's it. We try to get you on and you be respectful. That's it. You get your point across. 9542, call you on air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
My 2 cents is, okay, I'm an avid watcher of Tasha K. I've been a Tasha K watcher for a while. I didn't have a problem with the question she was asking, because I was picturing, before I judged, I said, well, what if this was this person or this person? I think a lot of times we're so used to, celebrities or whoever being coddled that we don't like to ask those type of questions. So we're in a culture where the blogs are trying to be friends with celebrities, so they'll come on their show. And so on that aspect with Tasha, I didn't mind the interview questions. I did not like this interview, though. I just didn't. It just made her look like she had an agenda because she was friends with another celebrity. And that's how it came off to me. Like, maybe there was some conversation in the background, like, well, if anybody can talk about Jaguar, I can. And I felt like it was good that she got out her background, but then after a while, it got really deep. And I agree with you that I would rather have seen that on a Yanla or something like that.
Yeah, because it's some deeper issues that she have. Thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you, sister.
Thanks, Wally.
No, thank you. All right. Shout out to the new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. Returner, thank you as well. So if you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button. It's free. You click the thumbs up and leave a comment. We got 4 callers. We're going to get everybody on, so they won't say I'm being biased with the calls. Just no cussing, people. We just want you to be professional. You don't want you sitting and do all that type of stuff, okay? 5634, call you on the air.
Okay, so first off, I want to say, whoever that was that called in, they was nice, and their whole voice changed once they started cursing out Tasha, calling her bald-headed. Let me say this. If Tasha K didn't say it, it didn't happen. That was my mindset previous to this interview. I can't say she's trash because I still have a great respect for what she does. I have a great respect for how she's growing her show. Even the small things she's paying attention to, like makeup and hair and all of those things, I appreciate that. But I just feel like the questions were a bit intrusive. You talking about when did someone's hymen break? Girl, what are you doing? That is too much. You don't ask no woman no foolishness like that. And I just kind of felt like I think in the end, To be honest, in the end, I think her body language did change, and it was not as defensive. I think she was beginning to be empathetic. I think she kind of realized she took it too far. And one thing about Jaguar, honey, she didn't break. She stuck to what she said. She defended what she said. She had. I just feel like Tasha took it too far, and she realized she did, and she tried to reel it back in, which is why she was looking for confirmation from the husband in the end.
So thank you so very much for calling in. All right, Tasha, can you live? How are you doing?
Oh, hi, Wiley.
Hi.
I need to be asleep, but I'm waiting on some crab legs from Hooters. I'm hungry as fuck, man. Listen, I ain't really had nothing to eat today. I think the last time I ate today was at 12. I'm hungry, but no.
So
I really enjoy your reviews. I enjoy the callers. I enjoy their comments, good or bad. You know, I don't mind a bitch cussing me out, calling me a bald-headed bitch, and still watching the whole motherfucking show. I love it. I love it. Where they do that at? That bald-headed, trashy bitch. She was trash when she did this interview. She was trash when she did this interview tonight. I watched the whole thing, and I can't stand that bitch. And they gonna be on the next one. I can't stand that bitch. I love bitches like that. I really love them. I'm serious. They like, listen, I love it. But anyway, go ahead.
With the interview, did you feel like you did a great job interviewing Jaguar, right? Do you feel like
I don't really think about whether I do a good job or a bad job. Every interview is different. Every personality is different. The energies are different. So I knew that the interview was tense, but as far as whether I do a good job or a bad job, I do good jobs sometimes on shows. I do bad jobs sometimes on shows. It just depends. It's all about the process. I don't get stuck up on whether or not an interview was bad. You know what I'm saying? I just, okay, there's a next one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And this wasn't into compared to Storm Monroe interview, because people are saying, hey, you did that because you saw the numbers that Storm got and you and Storm is beefing. So my question would be, are you and Storm beefing?
Wait till next week.
Okay.
Yeah. I love everything for a click of the view. Now listen, they can wait until next week and figure out who I'm beefing with or if I'm beefing with Storm. But what was the other question? Storm's numbers did amazing. Okay. Now, I never had any intention on interviewing Jaguar. Jaguar was in my inbox first. It was sitting there. I called Storm after I got the message from Alicia, and I said, Storm, call Jaguar. Tell her I'll talk to her now. She's always wanted to talk to me. But Storm, the numbers, the fit, they were perfect for each other. Here's what I don't understand with Black media. You have celebrities or whoever do interviews on platform to platform to platform to platform. But when we do it on YouTube, all of a sudden, oh, somebody's jealous. Oh, somebody's trying to undermine. Somebody's trying to do this. This is what people do in media. So yes, I mentored him, and he did a phenomenal job with that interview. And he's going to continue to do phenomenal fucking numbers, okay? Because he's got it now. He's got it. He's always had it. Nobody just saw it. I said that. I think I sent the tweet earlier today, and I said it was funny how everybody was dragging me for fucking with Storm. Do you remember that, Wiley?
I remember that.
Oh, he's bullshit. He's corny. He's this. What the fuck are you doing? Your platform is trash. People don't know that affected Storm. I remember Storm was going to. This was probably I can't remember how many, it was probably towards the end of last year, it had got hard for him. He had moved to Atlanta, no family, living on his own. Money wasn't right. And then the internet is literally trashing him for fucking with me. And I told Storm, I said, Storm, look at my numbers. I'm not even working. Storm came to move here. I was making barely 2 videos a month. racking in just 30K just from YouTube, not including my advertisers, okay? And my advertisers continue to pay me, although I did not meet my contract requirements for 4 videos a month because I was pregnant. And I said, you look at these numbers. This is you. I know talent when I see it. I knew Storm was talented when he dragged Deb at me. I was a fan since. So it's funny how everybody's like, oh my God, she's jealous. Oh my God, she's this. Oh, Storm is this. Storm is all those things that I've always been saying, but y'all are just now seeing it. But when it was getting hard, when everybody was dragging him, guess who was in his ear telling him, don't worry about that bullshit? He almost wanted to move back. Wow. He was like, I'm going to give up. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. I can't imagine being in my 20s, being dragged all over the internet. See, I'm in my 30s. I don't give a fuck whether a bitch calls me bald-headed, ugly, bisexual, what in the fuck ever. Been there, done that. Try to come with something harder. It don't worry me. It doesn't shake me. You understand? But as far as the interview, I said, if I'm going to interview, there is no way I am going to bring a woman on my platform that has done something with somebody else. That is not how I do my interview. That is not how I've always ran my platform. My platform has always been controversial. Have I not always gotten with my guests?
Yeah, you even in this interview, it was a very heavy interview because she was saying some very heavy stuff.
You agreed to it.
Okay, but you said that she's talking like a blogger. You said on your backup channel that she's speaking like she's a blogger, like pretty much. Where's the receipts? Because she said a lot of stuff. Have she provided you receipts to back up any of them claims that she said during your interview?
No. See, here's what caught me off guard. And I talked to Storm about this after he did the interview. Because when she opened up that interview, she said, Diddy's a sex trafficker. And then he said, well, who is he sex trafficking? She said, well, does it matter? And then she goes on to say, and she says, well, I heard from sources of mine, sources that I trust, that said he was sex trafficking. So I'm like, so you weren't there. There's a difference telling your story from firsthand account. And she does have information that she tells from firsthand account. First person. But then there's a lot of stuff where she's mentioning, I heard from a friend of a friend. So that is blogger style. You understand? You're reporting what you heard. But because she's such an eloquent speaker, a lot of people can't see in between it. So I said, if I'm going to sit with her, I'm going to sit with her from her perspective. And that's the only reason I agreed to do an interview with Jaguar. She's always wanted to sit with me.
And I hear that piece, and she got heated because you were questioned. Do you feel like she didn't like your questions because you got to the mental illness piece? But she mentioned that she had multiple disorder or something.
She had multiple personality disorder, and she suffers from paranoia, which, if, like I said, I am not a doctor, nor do I pretend, but I prepared for this interview heavy. If you suffer from any type of paranoia and you're running from city to city to city to city, and you've always been like this, that is kind of, a little bit of schizophrenia. And her mom suffered from that. So it's not too far off to hit her with questions. And I don't expect anybody like that's being questioned as hard as I kind of question, and how I did not feed into like everything that she was trying to say. Because a lot of people, it's easy for people to say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But you gotta understand, Jaguar's 43 years old. She's been there, done that. You see what I'm saying? It's not like she's 20. She's older than me. So she's not dwelling on things that happened to her as a child. So I can approach her differently as opposed to approaching someone who's 20, like Brandy.
Yes. Speaking about Brandy, a lot of people say you did that for clicks and views. Did you do
Brand,
this for the Brandy
you know
piece?
what, Brandy, that's a whole different subject. But you know what, Jaguar is going to be available to kind of answer questions on Patreon tomorrow, so anybody can ask her anything. Me and Jaguar are cool. Like, she actually called before the interview. She said, "I like the way you're marketing. I like that. You are smart." Like, she's very, very, like, she's a grown woman. And so anything that you're hearing me say, like, I've said it to her. Like, it's not like, oh my God, like, she's dragging her against me. And Jaguar had a very, very long and in-depth conversation, like, before the interview, after the interview. You understand what I'm saying? So she knows exactly where I'm coming from. And she knows why I took the approach that I took. Of course, it aggravated her because you're like, you're going to give my haters some bullshit. But at the same time, this is what people are saying. This is what they're asking.
But yeah, a lot of people is asking that and saying there's something wrong with her mentally. So, but she don't want the narrative out there. But that's a great question to ask because she brought it up. So you have the right as an interview to bring it up. But do you feel as though that with this interview that it made you look bad because people were calling in, they were angry? Did that surprise you?
It never surprised me. Like, I never know how an interview is gonna go. Okay, I never know how the viewers are gonna respond. I don't sit there worried about how viewers are gonna respond. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just worried about getting the information. So however you respond, however you label me, we're grown. I'll be 39 next year. I don't care about what people think about me. You understand what I'm saying? So you're entitled to that. That's why I don't like block people. That's why I don't like, I tell you to cuss me out. That's fine. Because just as much as I get on my platform to speak my truth and share my opinion, the viewers have the right to do that too. Who am I to tell them they can't do that? Who am I to tell them they can't tell me I'm a piece of shit? If you feel I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit. It is what it is.
I hear you. I really, really hear you. But the interview for me, it was a very, very heavy interview. It was lengthy. I didn't even know it was 2 hours. I'm like, what?
I wanted to break it up. I did. I wanted to break it up. But I was just like, nah, let's just run it through. Cause I didn't want anything to get like misconstrued or taken out of context. Like, oh my gosh, she cut it. She's editing stuff out. But I gave it to you exactly how it went. Like, nothing was cut. The only thing we did was insert the ads. Because if I would have done that live and had to insert my ads, it would have been hard to kind of stop her. You see what I'm saying? Because she's a talker. That's her lane. And I honestly told her, I said, you missing your calling. You need to be in public speaking somehow.
Yeah, because when you say you were friend, I was surprised when you said you was friends with Alicia Keys or friends with Swiss Beats. Do you feel like you were biased when you said that you had a ton of motives to get her together because of that friendship with Alicia Keys?
I'm not, quote, friends with them. Like, I'm close to the family. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I don't sit down and kiki with Alicia. I don't do that.
Okay.
I'm friends with Swiss's mom. That is my friend. Now, of course, sons and stuff are there, kids are there. That's cool. But that, like, his mom is my friend. But out of respect, why would I? It's like a conflict of it's a conflict of interest.
Okay, so you did.
And I mean, listen, anytime I get stories, I'm either on the phone with the actual celebrity or I'm on the phone with somebody close to the celebrity.
I hear you.
Every now and then we may get some bullshit gossip in the DM and stuff. You be like, oh, okay, this is bullshit. Let me run this. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, 90% of the time, I am on the phone with either the celebrity, their representative, or someone that is close to them. You understand? Or some chick or dude that's fucking them. So, that's just how it works.
I feel you on there. Some people were saying in the interview that you kept asking for her location. Where's the location? Where are you located? Were you trying to find out her location for somebody?
I was trying to find out if she was homeless or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Gianna's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like exactly where she is, of course I'm not gonna get her to drop like her. Oh girl, tell me you at the Sheraton. Where you at? No. I was just trying to get her to tell me whether or not, because she does move around a lot, and this is something we talked about before the interview. I said, so this is how it's gonna go, and she said, Tasha, I can't promise you I'm gonna give you everything. I'll give you 50%. I said 80. Because I understand some stuff can get hard. But she gave me really 100% of her.
She did. She really did.
I wasn't expecting that. I honestly expected her to kind of go around the questions, but she was very, very, very open.
And she really shared some things I've never heard before. Her personal,
right?
Really, really personal with you. But you tried to ask her about Mary J and Alicia Keys, but y'all clashed on that because she said she know her, and I'm like, whoa, she was at it. But my last question would be, your next direction with your platform. I see what you said. You'll be working with different people with your team. What are you doing with the podcast? Is it going to be something weekly or is it bi-weekly?
Yeah, the podcast is coming back. We're going to actually bring back I'm going to be recording an episode Sunday because like I said, I'm introducing my team to the viewers and stuff like that. So it will be coming back. But we just have to, kind of rebuild the studio because we just moved into our new place. But it's not gone. It's not gone at all. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tasha K, for coming on.
When you gonna fly down and do a show?
Whenever you want me to fly down to do a show.
Serious, Wiley?
I'm 100% serious.
Okay.
I don't do too much travel, but for you,
having you and Storm, you and Storm, Larry Reed. I think I could get like Funky Dineva and T.S. Madison. That shit would be epic. I can get it done.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for it. Many people said I'm auditioning to be on your payroll.
Oh my God. I don't pay for no interviews. I don't pay nobody. Okay, I am the chief out here. I won't even pay Louis Vuitton. Okay, I won't pay Gucci. I won't pay none. No. But I mean, if a few callers want to ask me some questions, I'll take some before we go.
Okay. All right. So if any callers want to ask us some questions, she's live on the air. So we got 3 callers already in queue. So let's see. 5241, call you on the air. 5241, you live on the air. Okay, they're probably watching on their TV. Let me get to this one. 3479, you live on the air. All right, so let's go to this next one. Make sure y'all call in. Don't hang up because we're going to the caller. So if anybody want to call in, let me put the number on this.
This is actually keeping me up while waiting on my food because Lord knows I done left Uber Eats sitting outside overnight ordering food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. A7. Let's go to this one. 0543. You live on the air. 0543. You live on the air. Can you turn me down the background?
Okay.
0543.
Hey, hold on. Let me.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Tosh, you my girl and everything. My thing is this: how you gonna say that you were just asking her a question about where she was to the blah blah blah, and you asked the girl about 5 times where was she? Like if someone is saying somebody is trying to kill me, and you asking, well, where are you? Well, where are you? She already told you she was homeless. And then why do you need to know her finances? She told you, you asked her, what do you do for money? She said, oh, I'm into various things. Okay. Then she told you about her website. And it was like you was trying to see if, she was fine. And then you asked her husband about her. Whatever he does have to do with you. That ain't none of your business. How much money? Where does this come from?
Are you asking a question or are you venting?
I'm doing both.
Okay. Well, go ahead. I'm just confused because she kept asking if she would talk. And then she would ask a question, then she would talk.
Okay. That's how you was asking. That's exactly. So wait, you can dish it, but you can't take it.
I can take anything. I'm here listening to you. It's called communicate.
Where she lives. Listen, you even have threats.
You even said it. Oh, I have threats on my life. So if you said that you have threats on your life, and I'm asking you, well, where do you live? Where are you? Hello? That was like stupid of you to ask her. I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying it was stupid of you to ask someone that someone is after them and you want to label it schizoid. No, that ain't schizoid. She ain't paranoid. If someone is after you, just like you done moved a couple of times, just like you got ready for anyone that pop off, that is not paranoid.
Okay.
That's not schizoid.
So what's your question, caller? What's your question?
What's your question?
No, I didn't forgot what I. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why? Why'd you go there? Because then you said, "Oh, it wasn't."
Okay, can I ask? Can I answer? What's your name? What's your name?
Storm got 1 million views.
What she asked you? What's your name, caller? I'm gonna ask you. Okay, I think she want to know why did you ask her about her location, but I think you answered that already.
Yeah, I already answered that. Like, I answered that.
Why did she ask 15 times?
Because when you're interviewing, can I respectfully answer the question?
Go ahead.
Thank you. You gave me permission to talk. God damn. Okay, so when you're interviewing people who talk a lot and they don't let you answer. So Jaguar is the type of person, she's gonna talk, right? So in a lot of cases, when people are talking like that, they don't remember what they've said. So the reason I was asking, okay, when I was prepping for the interview, in order to try to catch someone or to see if they're actually telling the truth, you ask the same question several times. But in this case, I just was trying to figure out whether she was homeless or not, because she did tell me earlier, I am. Then she said, I'm not. We have a place to stay. So that's what I was figuring out. Now, what's your next question?
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next caller.
Oh, you ain't gonna let her finish?
Okay. Go to the next caller. Okay. 8776 caller, you're there.
She need to be drinking some wine at this hour. She on 10.
Yes, go ahead. What's your question?
Have a glass of wine on me, girl. Go ahead.
I would like to know, do Tasha K see any of herself in Jaguar?
I see myself in a lot of people. I mean, that's how we ultimately connect. But with Jaguar, no. I never saw myself in Jaguar, and I don't. Like, I don't have any. I mean, yeah, we were both molested, but I mean, as far as like our characteristics, no. I honestly can't even fathom how Jaguar. There's a piece that I cut out of the interview. It's at the very, very end. Like when we said bye, she kept going, right? And so I'm gonna play it tomorrow on my channel, and it will explain. Not on my channel. I'm gonna play it on Patreon for the Patreon members because it did get emotional. She started crying. And I kind of want the Patreon members to see this because like it really tells a lot, because she says that, oh, I'm fine. I've gone through therapy. But then she says something when she starts to cry. She was just like, my husband did something for me. And it's just recent. So she's still going through her trauma. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you can get up and say anything like, oh yeah, I'm good. But somebody who is, first she said she was raped like 10 times, then she said she was raped like 7 times. But I mean, I honestly think she's buried it so much that she really doesn't remember because it's so tragic. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't expecting to get that at all. I kid you not, when I prepared for her interview, I prepared based off of what the naysayers were saying and stuff that she was not talking about. And yes, I would bring up similarities, things that she's already talked about, just so I can go a little bit deeper. But a lot of times, like, she would kind of, take it somewhere else. So like what I did tonight was very strategic. I expected, and that's why I said, I hope y'all don't cuss me out too much. I literally said that. I knew that y'all were probably going to go off on me because of my interview style. And I did choose the interrogation process because that's how you can catch someone who won't allow you to speak in an interview. So
with next caller, 5241, caller, you on air. 5241.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey,
I got one question.
go ahead.
Now, Storm interviewed Jag, and Tasha said she fell asleep. So how did she stay up interviewing the same person? I don't understand it. Did she manage to stay awake tonight or something? Because that interview was very, I don't know. It was very not like her. It was very dry. Like it seemed like you were trying to embarrass her. Is that what you brought her on for? It was times it seemed like you were trying to sympathize with her, but then the questions you could clearly tell she would answer, and you would keep asking her over and over. What are your finances? Are you homeless? Like this woman ain't really.
I just answered that. Like, were you listening when you were backstage? I just answered why I took
right
that
on your note paper.
What? What'd you say?
I'm real, like I'm saying what everybody else was thinking through the whole interview. Really, Tasha, was that the best you got? Like Storm did
For
that,
the particular interview, yes, that's how it went.
Like,
So
I almost fell asleep during your interview, not Storm interview.
I never said I fell asleep during Storm interview. What is she talking about?
I don't know what she's talking about. All right.
What do you mean? I didn't fall asleep during Storm's interview. I watched that entire interview twice.
And we can go to the next caller. 2018, caller, you're on air.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, I just want to ask Tasha, do you think this was a good interview?
Damn, I just answered this question. I don't know whether it was a good interview or a bad interview. I can say something is good and y'all drag me. I can say something is terrible and y'all love it. So it's based on the viewers, whatever you get from it, because you're the ones that are coming for entertainment. I'm not there for entertainment. That's what it was. So if it was a terrible interview, if that's what you thought it was, that's what it was. No one can ever predict how an interview can go. If you're the interviewer, you can't. Because you don't know. And you don't know how the viewers are going to
ask you. I want to ask you, please do not make money off of another person's pain. You were clearly picking on her for being homeless, and you were clearly picking on her and her man for being unemployed. You were.
I was picking on her?
What if you were homeless?
I was picking on her.
What if you were
I can't argue with your perception.
Interviewing you and making fun of you?
They do it every day.
Okay, but why do you have to do that to someone else?
I am in. Look, my job is very clear, and I'm very clear at what I do. I do not tell you to watch. I do not open up your phone. I do not tell you to type in Tasha K, and I do not tell you to watch these interviews. I do what I love to do, which is the job that I'm doing, and whoever decides to watch, that's on you. So you telling me, why do I do this? That's like me asking you, why do you watch me if you don't like it? If you're bothered.
I feel you on that. We go to the next caller. 0926, caller, you on air.
Hi, Wiley. Hi, Tasha.
Hi.
First of all, Tasha, you are damned if you do, you damned if you don't. First of all, we're the ones who asked you to do the Jaguar interview. Wiley, get those coins. Because haters going to hate regardless. They're going to drag you anyway. So what difference does it make? Make that money. And Tasha, do what you do and keep it moving. Because all you are trying to do is bring people up with you. So I don't understand why everybody trying to drag Wiley and you. Jaguar is silly.
To Storm. They did the same thing to Storm when I brought him on, like, oh my God, he's it. Oh my God, he's Tasha's million. Now he's doing good. Oh my God, Tasha's there. I'm like, y'all, what? Pick a side. Pick a side. Pick a side, y'all. Y'all like him. Y'all love him. You know, y'all didn't like me because I loved him. Now y'all don't like me because y'all think I don't love him. But I talk to Storm every day about that channel. I'm still mentoring him despite what's going on, and he's about to graduate to a bigger mentor.
I feel on that. Here we go. 3763, Carly on the air. 3763, last four.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually made it on the line. First of all, let me just say this. Oh, wow, I can't believe I made it on the line. Wiley,
Yes.
I am so proud of you.
Oh, yes.
I am so proud of you. Tasha, I have been an A1 fan. I don't necessarily consider myself a wino because, honey, technically I'm an alcoholic. Okay. I've been watching you before you got big. I don't know how I came on you. One day I was just depressed in the house and you made me laugh. And I was like, okay, this is my sister.
Oh.
Wiley, take her off and allow that woman to mentor you. I want to say this. I'm righteous one, Tasha. I'm righteous one. I've inboxed you several different times on different situations that I've seen on, you know, the YouTube and people dropping your addy and all that stuff. So I'm the one that's like, look, girl, I'm not feeling this. This is not safe. Get your family up out that situation. I'm going to be honest with you. That Jaguar interview, that Brandy interview, it did something to me. Much like most girls that are from urban areas who come from traumatic backgrounds, it did something. But baby, keep doing what you're doing, Tasha. Keep doing what you're doing. You have no clue as to how inspirational you are, no matter how fucked up it may seem. Oh, I'm sorry, Wiley. I'm sorry if I don't want you to be demonetized. I don't care how effed up it may seem to somebody else. I understand that there's a method to your madness. The way you shot down that R guy, I've been knew what was up with that dude from when I was a little girl, because I was that little girl. I just called in because I love you guys both.
Thank you.
I want you guys both to soar. Keep doing what you're doing. The Father has something great for the both of you. And while I'm the person that was like, okay, yeah, I agree with the bipolar disorder situation, the BPD. I was diagnosed with that when I was 18, 19 years old. And this was like, no, about 17, 18 years old. And this was after my mom had passed away in my arms. Had a complete meltdown. I'm proud to say now that I have children that are doing great in school. My 15-year-old is in college. Baby, if I can do it, you can do it.
Amen.
I'm gonna call it. Thank you so much. I need to stop rubbing my damn eyelashes. I'm not used to having these. I'm gonna pull them out on the damn live. Thank you, caller, so much for your support and love. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming from, a perspective of someone who can make up their own mind. And I'm not making you pick up your phone to watch something. Like it's crazy how they come at me like bitch, I put the phone in your hand. What are you doing? But no, I am truly going, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, right? Because I'm my I guess I would say view on mental illness, it's a lot different. And so I want to really do a show, and it's going to be a show that's probably going to rub some feathers. I'm going to have some mental health experts, some doctors and things on. And it's not going to be like that typical doctor answering clinical questions. It's going to be, I'm talking about, I'm going to put the stats out. I'm going to put, why is it in this country there's no mental illness, but why do we have so much? You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is linked to the food, the chemicals that are put in the foods that cause chemical imbalances, our lack of exercise, things and stuff like things like that. But I honestly want to challenge someone who's been in the field to really like be honest, to say like, to give us a perspective on like, how can we avoid this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we fix this? Because it seems like we're the only country that has like these outstanding numbers when it comes to mental illness. But when I travel, like, and I'm living in these places and stuff like that, you don't see it like that. It's only mostly predominantly in America, and that's a problem for me. So like, I'm going to do a show on that. I really am. And I know it's going to rub some feathers, but it's got to be done.
It definitely happens.
Because it seems like, doctors are just coming up with everything and they're just pill popping instead of just telling you to go get some sunshine or eat right. Now, I do realize some people do have real issues, but at the most part, it's like you sad one day, you happy one day. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right. Do you want to take one more caller?
Hey guys, please like Wiley's video, subscribe. Y'all are here. If it's 600 people in the chat, just hit that like button for him, because it honestly gets his video like searching and stuff. So anytime y'all on, just like the video.
2041, you live on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
Hi, Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I only call to be positive. I am so proud of both of you. I've watched Tasha for years. I've never said anything in the chat, just watching from the skybox.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just proud of both of you. And you guys help people. You help people that you'll never meet. And you're tougher than I'll ever be, because there's no way I could personally deal with all the negativity that you guys face for just pursuing your dream and doing what you've been called to do. And I don't know where these callers come from or how they were raised, but they've had whole conversations in their heads before they actually speak with you. And I just want to encourage you both to continue moving forward, always remain positive, and I love you both.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
That was it.
And I do want to comment on that, because a lot of people are like, man, like, how can y'all take this? Like, how can you take like an entire chat dragging you when you're so secure in yourself? Like, I'm very secure. I know what's my shit and what's not my shit. And I just don't get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? I did the job. You know, was it done well to some of y'all? No. Did I think I did the best I could? Yes. And so, you know, moving on. So I promise you that stuff doesn't, I don't even take it in. Because I'm such a, like, I know a lot of people may call it crazy, but I'm such like a positive person. My eyes is always like, you know, my mind is always like 3 steps ahead. Like y'all are on this interview. I'm here for press. You know, Wiley does great press and he's always reviewing the show. So guess what? I'm gonna always come on his platform and I'm gonna always give y'all the wine because he's always on it. So why not?
I feel you on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Take one more caller, Tasha.
Yeah. I'm about to go downstairs and get my crab legs.
5634, call you on air.
Yeah.
And I had to call back in. I'm happy I got you. Let me say this. Wiley, I wouldn't know who you was if it wasn't for that other guy, Armand Wiggins. I was like, well, Wiley's so insignificant. Let me run over there and see who he is. And I've been stuck on you ever since you got this off. Tasha, let me let you know, baby, I'm still a wino. Barbara Walters done got it wrong. Dan Rapper sometimes get it wrong. Harvey Levin sometimes get it wrong. And you tonight, I feel like you got it a bit wrong because you did go a bit far with the hiring. But I still love you. I'm still a wino. And like I said when I called earlier, if Tasha K ain't said it, baby, it didn't happen. Now, y'all,
and just like that. And just like motherfucking that. Listen. No, Wiley, I'm going to go get some food. Thank you so much for the callers. Thank you for the positive reviews. Thank you for the neutral reviews. And thank you for the bad reviews, okay? I love it all. I just pray that y'all continue to watch, continue to drag me, continue to love on me. And yeah, we're going to sip some wine. So yeah, Wiley, thank you. And I'm going to be sharing this so everybody can kind of, you know, help to get your numbers up. I'm just so proud of you. And a mentorship, I just want to say this because everybody think, oh my gosh, she's going to be paying you. She's going to be doing that. I didn't pay Storm. Storm is making his money. Okay. If you decide, because I already talked to my husband about it, because like I find myself just watching your shows. Like I find myself watching Storm shows. I don't do that unless I like you. And so there's just a few tweaks. Like you got it. It's just a few tweaks. It's like you having somebody that's just going to coach you. Like you call me up, Tasha, my video numbers are not doing well. What should I do now to get them up? Or what should I do in the future? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's so much content on your channel that could be like the numbers could be off the top, but because of your titles and your tags and stuff and your thumbnail is the reason why. And so like that's an easy phone call. Tasha, what should I do? Bam. You go about your business. I'm not gonna be telling you what to do with your channel, what you should interview, who you should interview. I don't do that. I don't even know who Storm got coming on. You understand? Like that's his platform.
Yes.
I don't run that. He just calls me for advice. That's it. And so just let me help you with this camera quality. We're going to get you at 4K. Okay? Get you some advertisers, like strong advertisers, and get your platform popping.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, that's all. So, yeah. And if your viewers love you, they will say, you know what, Wiley, go and get your numbers. And don't fuck with Tasha no more. I just want to see you do well. That's it. No strings attached.
Thank you so much.
All right. I love you guys. Now I got to go. Bye. I'm hungry. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, y'all. This was definitely a legendary show today. And you know what? I wouldn't even plan to go live today. I was sitting on sleeping because I go back to work next week. My gosh, over it. I go back to work next week. So, you know, I go back to work next week. So I've been like really sleeping and watching Bernie Mac. And so, yeah. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. This was a little live. Thank everybody for that, y'all, so much. If you have not subscribed, click that subscribe button, click that thumbs up. Don't forget, me and Blue Skies will be covering the election on November 3rd. What's up, YouTube? On election night, we're going to cover the election. Whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, this is a history-making night. Somebody, whether you're Donald Trump or Joe Biden, will be the next president. But I'm going to give my perspective on the election. So join me and Blue Skies as we talk about the election. Go out and vote, because on November 3rd, it will be history that's going to be made. All right. Thank you all so very much. I will talk to y'all soon. I'm going to go get me something to eat because I'm hungry and my butt is sore. So thank you to all the callers. If y'all didn't get a chance to call in, my apologies. But we was on for about going on 2 hours. Make sure y'all go on and subscribe. Thank you all. We will see you all soon. All right. Oh, okay. Don't forget, my birthday is November 11. I will be 30 years old on November 11. I'm sorry, November 11. I'll be 30 years old. And so I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget. Okay. I'm super excited. I'll be turning another year. Thank you all for that. So y'all know my birthday is coming up November 11th. Yes. And I'll be 30 years old. Yes. Thank you all so very much. And I will see you all soon in the next live. Woo, I'm so glad I listened to the producers and went live today. They was like, go live, go live, go live.